Hi and welcome to part 4 of replication in SQL Server. In this part 4, we are going to see the P2P replication and its topology. What are the steps we are going to perform to configure a P2P replication and the case of conflict detection and also the resolution of conflict. I have already made videos on transactional replication, snapshot replication and part 1 of replication which is introduction. So these are the part 1, 2 and 3. So if you have not watched the video, you can go to my channel playlist and you can watch these 3 videos, or I'll leave a link in the description. You can watch it from there. And if you have visited my channel for the first time, please do subscribe my channel for more videos and also hit the bell icon to get notified of the upcoming videos. What is a P2P replication? This is a bidirectional in nature and is introduced with SQL Server 2005. So in case of snapshot replication or a transactional replication, we have seen the publisher is publishing a data and it is being distributed to the subscriber. That is only one direction. But here it's a bidirectional nature from publisher to subscriber and also from subscriber to publisher. This P2P replication is available only in enterprise edition of SQL servers. And the database that is going to participate in P2P replication should contain identical schema and data. And here we don't have row and column filtering as we have in transactional replication. Let me show you P2P architecture. So this is a 5 node architecture. In this we have total 5 nodes. Each and every node is connected to other node. These 5 nodes can be 5 different computers or 5 different servers that are linked together with equal responsibilities for processing the data. Here we will not be having a centralized server in case of P2P topology, and workload is distributed among all the 5 nodes equally. And here in our demo, we are going to look at 3 different servers that are participating in the replication. So here these are the 3 nodes, I mean 3 different servers, node 1, node 2 and node 3. What we are going to do here is, first in node 1 we will have a database, one database. We are going to take a backup of this database and restore in other 2 peers, node 2 and node 3. Okay, so after we restore database in node 2 and node 3 which are the peers in this 3 P2P topology, we are going to configure replication among these 3 peers. Okay, for example, if we have a table with 3 records in database, and if we are going to update the second record with employee ID 18957, then this record will be updated in other 2 peers also. Okay, whether you update in node 2 or node 3 or node 1, wherever you update this record, this single record, it will be updated among all these 3 peers. Okay, this is what we are going to see in our video. So the steps are, first we are going to identify database in source and take full backup and restore in peers, configure distribution in all the peers, create a publication, configure P2P topology, add peer nodes and verify the connection. If you have understood the concept, we can start with our demo. Here I have total 3 nodes. 3 nodes in the sense 3 different servers, 101, 102 and 103. In 101, I have a database with name pdemo. I'm going to take a backup of this pdemo database and restore in these 2 servers or 2 peers. So total I have 3 records in this pdemo, sorry, in this employee table which is present in pdemo database. Okay, so I'm taking a backup and restoring in other nodes. If you are new to SQL Server concepts and all, and how to take a backup and restore, you can watch my previous videos on how to take a full backup in SQL Server and how to restore a database from backup file. I'll share these two video links in the description. You can watch it from there. Okay. So I have taken a backup in this server, and I am going to restore in A102 and also at A103 server, which is node 3. So here in node 2 it is completed. The database has been restored successfully. You can refresh and check here. This is our pdemo database, and node 3 it is currently executing and it is completed. You can check in node 3 also. Refresh the instance here, databases, and here is our pdemo database. So our first step is completed. We have identified the database and we have restored the database in other two peers. Now we need to configure distribution in each individual instances. So why we are configuring distribution or distribution database in every instance is because if in case one distributor is down, the other two peers can replicate data without issue with the A101. If we make A101 as a distributor or A102 or any single node as a distributor, if this node goes down, replication will not function. Okay. Now we are going to configure distribution in all the three instances. First, let me go with A101, which is our node 1. Right click on replication and you have configure distribution. You'll have this configure distribution wizard. Click next. It will act as its own distributor. Yes. Click next. This is your snapshot folder. Next. Distribution database name, I'm leaving it as it is, distribution only. Go to next. Next. Configure distribution. Yes. Finish. While this is in progress, let me go to other node and configure distribution there also. Configure distribution. Yes. So configuring distribution is a very simple step, which I can say. Just you need to click next, next, and all. That's it. This will be in progress. Let me go to node 3, configure distribution. That's it. Finish. In A102 it is completed. You can see the distribution database under system databases. Let me refresh. This is your distribution database. Okay. And in security under logins, you'll have your distributor admin as a system administrator. Okay. Our next step would be creating a publication. Go to your replication, right click on local publication and select new publication. You'll get new publication wizard. Click next. If you get any error before this publication wizard, make sure you are going to add your publisher in the distributor properties. Okay. Click next and select your database, which is pdemo. Next, select P2P publication. Next, and here you get your articles. So I have only one table here, which is my employee table. And remember here one thing, you need to have a primary key on at least one column in order to replicate the data. And unlike you select particular rows in transactional publication, here you don't have that option. You need to select all the rows. See, all columns must be published if publication is enabled for P2P replication. So you cannot choose one or two columns. You have to choose all the columns. Even if you take your cursor here and unselect the columns, it will not allow you. All columns must be published. Okay. Next, log reader agent security settings. So you can give your administrator account here. Okay, click OK. Next, create publication. Yes, publication name. Give the name of your publication. Peer 1 pub and finish. So it is creating publication and it is success. Okay, your publication has been created successfully. Now this is your local publication. When you right click on this publication, you will have an option configure P2P topology. Okay, select this option and here you get the wizard to configure your P2P topology. Click next and here choose the publication. Here is my publication. I have created only one publication which is my peer1 underscore pub. Click next and here you can select the publisher and here this is your node 1. If you hover your mouse over here, you will have the details of the one of your peer. You can see here peer originator ID is 100 and number of peers 0. Conflict detection is enabled here and published database is pdemo. Publisher is A101. Now here you need to add another peers. We have P1 and P2 which is our node A102 and A103. Just go to empty area around this peer, right click on the empty area, you will have add new peer node. Select this option and add your peers or your node 2. Select the database. We have the database restored in other peer which is pdemo, the same database name, and here you can give the originator ID. Here your peer 1 originator ID is 100, so I'm going to give it as 101. Connect all displayed nodes. Select this option and you are going to choose push subscription. Okay, and add another node A103 and here select the database which is our pdemo database and originator ID. Let me give 102 because for node 1 it is 100 and for node 2 it is 101 and for node 3 I'm giving it as 102. Connect to all display nodes, use push subscription and OK. Now you can see we have total 3 nodes A101, A102 and A103. If you take your mouse scroll here, you'll get the originator ID and number of peers. Okay, and the published database. So the topology configuration is done. Just click on next and give your administrator account here. I have given the details. Okay. Use the first peer security seconds to all other peers. Yes, I want to use the same settings. Click next and do the same thing here. Give the administrator account details. Okay. Use the first peer security settings for all the peers. Yes. Select this one if you want to use the same security settings. Click next. Here you have two options. The first option you have to choose when no database changes has been taken place after you restore the backup. So in my case, there are no changes has been taken place in other two peers after restoring the database backup. For suppose if some changes has happened in other peers after taking backup and restore, then you need to select this option and browse your backup file. So what it does is it will take that LSN number from that backup file and it will do the sync. So in my case, I'm going with the first option because no data has been changed since the backup was taken. Okay, click next. So this is a summary. Finish. It will take some time. Only the last step is in progress. Once it is completed, we are done. And finally, it is done. The configuration has been completed. Now it's time for us to verify the data. First, let me show the contents inside the table. We have total 3 records, right? Use pdemo. You can see there are total 3 records. This is in node 1. Let me go to node 2. We have 3 records, and in node 3 it's 3 records, right? Now let me update the employee ID name of the first record. I'll do it in node 1. So I'm updating it to Hasni, the employee name. Let me execute. Sorry, I was in master database. Let me go to P demo database and do it. When I execute, you can see the employee record has been updated. Now let me go to node 2 and check the record. See, this is Tripti. It will change it to Hasni, right? It has been changed. It means our data has been replicated successfully to node 2. Let me check the same thing at node 3, right? It has been changed to Hasini. So I have updated my record in node 1, but the changes has been modified in node 2 and also at node 3. So this is how the peer-to-peer replication is going to function. Next, we'll see the conflict case and resolution in P2P replication. So how it is going to be. P2P replication allows performing insert, update, and delete against any node participating in the topology. So there may be a chances of conflict if the same data gets changed at different nodes at the same time. So in the previous example, we have already seen if we are updating this single record, which is employee 18975. If I am updating this record with another name in node 1, node 2, and node 3 at the same time, then it causes a conflict whether it should take updates from the node 1, node 2, or node 3. So which one to update? Here SQL Server will do two things. One, replication will stop as soon as the conflict is detected. Second thing is it will give a winning chance to the node that is having higher originator ID. So if node 1 is having originator ID 100, node 2 is 101, and node 3 is 103. So higher originator ID is having with node 3. So SQL Server will take the updates from this node 3 only. So I'll show you in a while where to update these things and where to choose these options. Okay. This conflict detection was not available in SQL Server 2005. It was introduced with SQL Server 2008 only. And we have to enable this conflict detection across all the nodes. So this is the path where you need to set the conflict detection option as true. I'll show you. So as I told, it will choose a stop replication, or it will give a winning for higher originator ID if a conflict occurs. And conflict resolution is more efficient in merge replication than in P2P replication. To enable conflict detection, go to publication properties. In our case, it is enabled by default. Go to subscription options. Here, if you see, allow P2P subscriptions is true because this publication itself is a P2P replication publication. And if you want to allow P2P replication to detect a conflict, select this as true. If no, select it as false. So after you detect a conflict, what you want to do, whether you want to stop the replication, if you want to stop the replication, then make it false. And if you make it true, it will detect the conflict and it will resolve the conflict by giving a winning chance to the higher originator ID. So we'll see both the cases. First, we are going to select false. So what it will do, as soon as it detect a conflict, it will stop the replication. Okay. Now So I'm going to update this second record to Srujan in node 1, and let me change the name here. Okay. So I'm going to change the name as Hari in node 2 and Srujan in node 1 at the same time. I need to execute it at the same time. Okay. Execute, execute. Okay. So both the records are executed successfully. So what I did here, I have done the modifications at the same time in two nodes simultaneously. So SQL Server doesn't know which node changes has to take. So there occurs a conflict. Now let me check the status of the replication. Let me launch the replication monitor. So you can see cross marks. So replication has already stopped. So as we have chosen an option to stop the replication as soon as a conflict is detected. So you can check the conflict type here. You can see the conflict type is update update. It's a update conflict has occurred between peer 101 and 100, which is node 1 and node 2. And if you expand this window, you will come to know what type of record and what record it is updating here. If you can see here employee ID 41497. So this employee record we are updating it in node 1, node 1 and node 2 at the same time, and update conflict has occurred, and as we have chosen to stop the replication, it has stopped the replication. So how do we resolve this conflict? It's very simple. Go to your publication properties and you can make this as true. But before that, let me show you the conflict, view conflicts here in publication. No conflicts to view. Okay, that's okay. uh, so let me make it true. So once I make it true, what it will do is it will take the updates from the node that is having higher originator ID. In our case, the higher originator ID is having this node 2. Node 2 is having the higher originator ID as 101, and for node 1 it is 100. So what it will do, it will take the changes from node 2 only. It means it will set the employee name as Hari for this second record. Okay, let's see. Make it, go to publication properties, subscription options, and continue replication after conflict detection. Yes, I want to continue. Okay, now let us right click on this publication type and view conflicts. You can see there is a conflict. Double click on this conflict. It is giving you table name and the publication name here, and you can see there is one conflict occurred and it has been already resolved, and the conflict winner is our node 2 and conflict loser is 2. And if you select this record, you can see conflict winner, conflict loser, the name and the employee details here. If you fetch the records of the table, you can see the record has been updated to Hari, which is the update from the node 2. And you can check the replication monitor also. The status would be fine, I guess. Yes, it is fine and the performance is excellent. Okay, you can check the agent status also. Agent is up and running. Okay, so this is how a conflict is resolved in this peer-to-peer. The higher originator ID will win the conflict. Okay, I hope you have understood the concept and enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please hit like button, do share and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.